What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be looking at the best icons in FIFA 23 with the addition of shapeshifter icons, World Cup, Team of the Year, FUT birthdays, and some, if many, normal primes. We've got a lot to go through today. We're going to start off by kind of explaining what the S plus is. It's something I've brought in for the previous tier list on the defenders, I want to say. Basically, we're allowed one position per S plus. So one striker, one left mid, right mid, CDM, and obviously this does account to icons, so they are a little bit kind of subjective to the type. Because realistically, in fact, the centre-back's a bad option, but say we picked a CDM. He might not be the best in the game, but out of the icons, they are. So let's go straight into it then, starting off with Baresi. He, again, is a fantastic upgrade from his previous version. I do think now he's slightly less under the kind of meta curve in terms of icons and obviously centre-backs in general, but I still think he could definitely put it up with the most. I feel like the defending side of him is absolutely crackers. We then have Team of the Year Beckham, which was one of my favourite Team of the Years. Obviously, there was quite a good few, to be honest. But Beckham is definitely one that has gone from just totally useless to an actual baller. He is definitely going in that S category for me. We have Bergkamp, more on the kind of lesser side, to be honest. Obviously, not every icon is going to be completely meta, which is just natural. You can't have 98 icons all being relevant, all being meta, because it's just too many. So Bergkamp for me is in the more A category, and I'm going to use A as slightly fodder, but more than likely they're okay. You could possibly use them, but they're not necessarily going to be in that top category of any sort of players. I'd like to tell you about skycoach.gg. They offer many features within the FIFA franchise, from FIFA coins to FIFA Weekend League boosts, from trusted sellers, pro players, and are the best prices on the market currently. They have fast delivery, high quality services, lots of games, and also a cashback program. The more coins you buy, the more eligible you are for cashback options. So if you want to buy FIFA coins at the best price, click the link in the description of this video. It will be active promo code for 10% discount from my subscribers. All you have to use is the code JT11 at the checkout to receive this bonus. On to the video. We then have Georgie Best, another cracking upgrade, obviously from his normal 93 into the FUT birthday. He definitely will kick himself in that S 100% of the time. Blanc we've managed to get twice for some reason, but Blanc, again, very much like Baresi, once he did get upgraded, to be honest, Blanc is better than Baresi in just the natural form, but I do think he is probably in the A plus now, more so than the S. When he came out, definite S, and I think we're going to have to put his counterpart in there as well. Butra from the World Cup, actually one that I'm pretty sure had this either the skill move or weak foot upgrade. Obviously now, I do think there is a lot better strikers, and he would definitely be due an upgrade at some point. He would have been a really nice kind of left wing, right wing if we did manage to get him, but at the minute, I'd say A plus compared to a lot of the strikers that we've got in the game. Carfu, in terms of right back from obviously the icons, I'd say he's my first S plus. You have got obviously Carlos Alberto, but I personally like him as a centre back, so it is however you take Carlos Alberto. Both of them are very similar in the right back role, but for me, Carfu is just a little bit better. We then have Cannavaro, who is definitely due an upgrade. I know he got a World Cup, but we now need something better. 80 pace, unfortunately, is just not going to cut it in this kind of era of obviously centre-backs and absolutely balling cards. So he sits in the A nice and pretty. Cantona, again, FUT birthday. To be honest, he was very, very meta for the past few years. Personally, I would say A plus now. I feel like if you kind of put him up against a lot of the top cards, I don't think he stands a chance. And most definitely, once we get through a lot of these lists, I just genuinely don't think he would. I will say Carlos Alberto, easy S on the eyes. Gotta love him. And in terms of Roberto Carlos, trying to think of the other left backs. Obviously, you've got Ashley Cole. You've got Alarm version. You've got Herrero. To be honest, Herrero can just quite easily go in that A plus, not a problem. I'm trying to think of any other left backs. For the moment, he would be number one in my opinion. Ashley Cole, I feel A plus is I'm being lenient with him, to be honest. I really don't fancy his card. I feel like he definitely should have been better. I know necessarily Roberto Carlos is kind of everybody's mainstream left back, but Ashley Cole back in the day was an absolute clinical left back. Why he's not upgraded even more, I personally don't know. We then have Casillas. Again, another solid goalkeeper. Probably say A+ personally. I feel like you're looking at your Van der Sars and your Yashins for obviously the S and potential S+. So I'm going to stick him in that A+. We then also have Czech. No, we have Czech 94 striker. For the moment, he is absolute class. Obviously, it's a gimmick to some cases, really. Obviously, the outfielder goalkeepers for shapeshifters is a nice bonus. I feel like they've actually done something other than give us a goalkeeper walker. I would have absolutely died for that card, but unfortunately they've just not bothered. Cruyff, easy. To be honest, the next three are so easy. Dalglish and Delpy had a massive upgrade. Mainly the upgrade themselves, but also getting that 5-star is irreplaceable. That is just the best versions of them two you're going to get. Desai, another cracking centre-back, obviously in his prime, still very good. The only thing that I am disappointed with is obviously not having the moments. He normally is a very good CDM. Now, obviously being just a centre-back, to be honest, could you go S? We'll keep him at A+ for the moment, because I'm thinking, with the centre-backs that we've got, I just think in terms of defensive and physical, very good, but all-round ball game for the centre-back is just not on the level. Essien, another cracking CDM. To be honest, I'm going to go S with him for the moment, just because I'm interested to know what other CDMs we actually do have. Eto, on the other hand, I'm very arguing between left wing is definitely an S. I don't feel like he's S+ because I've got the player in mind. The right wing could go there. We've got Jarzinho as a FUT birthday, which we've got here. We have Garincha as a, what, Garincha is in normal prime, I want to say. Is Garincha a normal prime? Where is he? Or is he a FUT birthday? I can't remember with Garincha, actually. He might. Is he even in this? Oh, Garincha's got his striker. Of course he does. So you have Jarzinho as obviously a FUT birthday. You have Eto as a shapeshifter. Best as a FUT birthday. And I think, and then obviously Beckham Team of the Year. To be honest, I feel like Eto takes that S+ spot. I genuinely, if you've used him, and Van Persie in fact as well, but Eto was extraordinary. Eusebio, another very easy striker on the eyes, obviously going into that S. I feel like we know who the S+ striker is going to be. We'll actually pick two, so it might be an interesting choice. Just because I could see him and we talked about left wing, Pele is unbelievable. And I know we're missing out on a true left wing. It's a shame Pele is a left wing because as a cam, he would be unstoppable. And obviously it would give that spot into the left wing nice and proper. We have Rio Ferdinand. A little bit disappointed this year for him, to be honest. I don't feel like he's been as relevant as what we've seen in previous years. Obviously with icon swaps and obviously kind of SBCs. I think we had a set list where we could basically have a pick of, I think was it bag A, bag B and bag C, where obviously we could pick out of the 5 icons. He was normally one of the big runners in his mid/base version. Unfortunately this year, I just don't think he's really put up the numbers. Garincha on another level, obviously 98 rated, and I'm debating between potentially going S+ for him, because if you've used him, you understand how good this card is. For now, we'll go S+, because obviously the other striker is obviously, if we can find him, gonna be that R9. That at the minute would be the two that I'd go with. R9 for an absolutely unbelievable striker, never gonna beat him. Garincha as a new card, I'm a really big fan of him. And honestly, if you had that front 4, you would be laughing. A left wing, a right wing, a striker, and another striker of a combined rating of what, 97.5 on average. People would quit instantly. Gattuso, unfortunately, again needs another upgrade now personally. Love his base at the start of the game, but definitely if we're going on this route of obviously newer versions of icons, we need better at some point for him very, very quickly. We then also have Lampard and Gerrard as the Trophy Titans. Both of them have some decent stats, to be honest. They have obviously been upgraded into the versions where they're a little bit more usable. Obviously, some more shooting, little bit on the defending, nothing too crazy, and a bit of a physical upgrade. But again, very much like their career, they are very, very similar. There's obviously different perks for either of them, but for me, I don't feel like they're in that S category just yet. Same with Henry. I was sure that he would have got a shapeshifter by now. He has had nothing throughout the whole of this game. I am praying we get Footy's icons because this man needs a big upgrade. I find it absolutely atrocious that he's only a 93 to begin with. He is a definite 95, 96 striker. If you've ever watched Henry, this card is just not good enough for him. Personally, it's a shame that they haven't upgraded him yet. For now, he's going to go in that A+, as he's still usable, but definitely not your first, second or third choice in a striker for an icon. Jarzinho, as we imagined, is always going to be in that right wing. We do have then Kaka as a 5-star foot birthday. Obviously with Kaka, unfortunately, the new SBC, which I can't remember, is an ECL Kaka, is just not good enough. It's a 5-star 4-star instead of a 5-5. Expensive to some extent, but also just isn't that much of an upgrade. So it is unfortunate that he has been done dirty like that, but I feel like this foot birthday is one of the better cams, and I'm just going to quickly scout through to see if we've got anybody else that is on that sort of level. I'm thinking Van Persie, but I must admit the right wing is definitely the better version out of... Oh, okay, no, in fact... He's got to go into that S, because we know that the S+. Zidane is just an absolute machine. I love Zidane. Kaka's brilliant and obviously has the skills and everything. But when you've got a Zidane 5-5 as well, like any other version, Zidane's absolutely all the way. Maldini's going to be another shout. Centre-back wise, you're never going to argue with that. I dare you to try. Obviously then Keane, standard card. I feel like he gives you a very consistent gameplay personally. Defensive, aggression, strength is all absolutely top dollar. Obviously having a bit of an increase in the pace with the Trophy Time version is always nice as well. Kluivert, to be honest, we put him in just to be put into fodder. As soon as I clicked him, I kind of knew where he was going. Coman as a CDM, not bad. Centre-back, he's A, fodder all day long. As a CDM, not a bad position change for him, which I think you could definitely utilise. Lahm, on the other hand, again, CDM centre-mid would definitely suit him more. And to be honest, the card's still got the stats. You know what? We'll go with that in the hope that you've used him as a CDM rather than a right back. As a right back, he doesn't have a chance. Especially if we are looking as the whole right back system. He's not even getting close to it. When you've got Di Lorenzo coming in at pretty much 80,000 coins, there's just no chance. Makelele, great addition to obviously his card, was kind of lost in the dimensions of icons. Obviously the base having a right mid which is 85 rated. Unfortunately, unless you pack it day one, it's just not happening for him. And obviously even the prime isn't that exciting to use. This version though, a little bit better. Not quite in that S category, but definitely in a topper tier. Then judging on the centre mids, I know we have a few and I'm trying to think, would Matthias be my S+? Because we have had a couple of really nice upgrades. I'm looking at Socrates, I'm looking at Zambrotta. They are immense. Matthias though, always an argument to be one of the better ones. You know what? I'm close. I'm going to go Matthias in the S. Again, there is arguments depending on gameplay. I'm personally going Socrates as my S+ for that. He has had such a glow up on this. He is usable to some extent on the cam, but this centre mid is perfect. A great balanced. Zambrotta's very similar as well. I personally went with Socrates first because that is just obviously how the team came out. But I must admit, both of them together, you could use all three of them and they'd complement each other easily. Riquelme, on the other hand, to be honest, a lot of people have kind of back and forth with him. I really didn't like him. I think he's obviously quite cheap now in terms of price. But as a left back, I didn't like him at all. It didn't work for me, and I think for me, he is more fodder than anything. Very much like Herrero, a little bit better, but I do think Herrero most definitely should have been a CDM more than anything. If they're going to move him just one position out from centre-back, there's no way that he can be a left-back, right-back. Too big, too clunky, not happening. Muller, again, another great striker, one that actually has just not really made waves this year. Like we've seen with Lucio, obviously with El Waran, we've seen some really good cards add to the market, and I think Muller had a great shout with the stats from the base and obviously being leaked for the mid and prime, but I just don't feel like he's connected that much. And it might be just the fact that I've not used every version for hundreds of games. If I got used to him, maybe he's better than what I personally see him as. Obviously, this version most definitely has had a nice upgrade, but most definitely I expected that little bit more from him. Bobby Moore was sensational back in the World Cup. He had a absolute glow up and one of the first of the kind of centre-backs like Nesta, like Vidic, that they just grew. They were incredible. The pace was sorted out. The defending physical was already up there, but even tenfold gone up even more. I absolutely love him, but now he is starting to slowly come out of it. As we know with World Cups, it takes a very, very good card. It would take an R9 to still be very usable at this point in the game. Obviously, then we have Ronaldinho. Again, I would have put him as S+, but most definitely, there's an argument between him and Pele. They both are absolutely insane, and either one of them is going to give you the output of the best left wing in the game, but unfortunately, Pele has to go ahead of him. It just naturally is. 99 rated. You cannot downgrade that unless you are sensational with Ronaldinho. That would be the only way I'd kind of justify it if your skills are of that next level, but then there's the always argument that Pele can do it as well. We then come down to the final few now. Yashin, I personally go S, and obviously that leaves the spot for the goalkeeper, which 100% is going to Van der Sar. Everybody should know by now, if you're an avid watcher of the channel, you know how much I love Van der Sar in this game. Personally, my favourite keeper by an absolute landslide. If we did manage to get another upgrade for him, he would be even better, which is just perfect. Whether we do, I doubt it very much. Nesta, another great centre-back, again like Bobby Moore, had the brilliant upgrade, now could definitely do with the next one on top of him. Pires, another great left mid as well. I do think, again, with the upgrades of Team of the Years, they were absolutely on the money. I feel like Pirlo as well with him. Both of them were very good. To be honest, Pires really surprised me with the pace aspect of stuff. I really didn't think he was that rapid down the wing. Give him a try if you've not. Very, very quick down that wing. Obviously has an SBC out. You definitely can get him done for quite cheap. I would imagine both of them now, for me, are A+ compared to their other versions that you can get in terms of the Ronaldinho. Obviously, George Best can be left wing. He's not going to be on that same level. Van Basten, for me, I feel like he's just not my game style. I love Harry Kane and Lewandowski, how they utilise the ball, but Van Basten at any version has just never been up there for me. Van Persie, as we suggested, easy S+, well, S, and then same with his cam, to be honest. I feel like both positions are good. You could argue that obviously if he was going to have to put one in one and the other in another rating, you'd definitely go with the right wing first and the cam in the A+, but great upgrade, absolutely love it. Obviously with Owen, very standard sort of striker, good pace, a little bit on the smaller side, physicality not there. Right now I'd probably go A+, and I think when we definitely start to get footies in them 97s, 98s, he'd definitely be into that fodder level. I can't imagine a lot of people using him now, but most definitely during footies, it just isn't happening. Seedorf, another great upgrade for a CDM. I feel like an easy one there. To be honest, did we even have our CDM there? We've obviously got we've got Xabi Alonso. I still rate him, but definitely not in that S category anymore. Other than that, in terms of a CDM, if you take out Matthias just being a sole centre mid rather than a CDM, just purely for the fact that his stats 90 above on everything, bar from physical and dribbling, you'd never argue that he can't be a box-to-box, most definitely. Seedorf could be the next option. He's better than Essien in my opinion. I feel like he definitely goes in there. So we've got a goalkeeper, a left back. We have one centre-back so far. My other centre-back is definitely got to be Vidic. Obviously, then we've got Carfu. We have a left wing, right wing. We have two strikers, a cam, a centre mid, and a CDM. So we've absolutely nailed it on the head. That is going to be my S+. Petit, again, not really a massive fan. Didn't really like his kind of cam card. Obviously, centre-back wise, still very, very good. Even though the pace definitely should have been over that 90. Really just to accelerate the card even more. You can never argue with 96 defending and 97 physical. That is an absolute card and a half. The cam wise, again, you could argue, but personally when I used him, I just really didn't like him that much. And again, it's all preference based. Obviously, these are all my opinion. You could love Petit. He could be your S+ cam, most definitely. If you really liked him that much and could utilize him in a way that I personally can't, you could definitely argue it. But for me, he's just not on that level personally. Raul, even though nice cards, nice stats, never really found him that interested in any sort of version, to be honest. Obviously, going to go in that A. Pushkas, easy S. Do we need a centre forward, in fact? That could be an interesting one, because we've got I suppose we've got two strikers, but I suppose they would be played as strikers. It's very rare that I'd use a centre forward in any game. Rijkaard, again, nice card, great upgrade, love the shapeshifter for him. He's kind of that standoff sort of striker. They've took the kind of Harry Kane sort of mentality, a little bit on the taller side, but most definitely has that pace to go forward. Hugo Sanchez, lovely SBC when he was out in Team of the Year. Obviously was out for so long that you could get him done very, very easily. And I think at that point, very good striker. Definitely now starting to go off the pace, obviously, a little bit. Same with Zanetti. Again, very much like Lahm. Love him as a CDM, and Desai, in fact. Their moments normally was that CDM role, and unfortunately it has kind of gone back to the right back. But I do think he still can give you a good element in that right back role. Obviously, Vieira's S+, or S in fact, can never argue with him. Obviously, a very big card in terms of just naturally are in the game. Hullet, Vieira, Matthias are normally the top three. Obviously, with these extra increases of Trophy Titans, Shapeshifters, we are seeing now a much different variety in icons that you can use. For instance, Zambrotta and obviously Socrates in that centre mid. They are impeccable and definitely putting in numbers like Vieira would do back in the day. Xavi, another one at A+. I feel like if used right, you can definitely get a good amount out of him. But personally for me, I'm just not a massive fan of him. He isn't my sort of game style. I'm not massively passing orientated where I'm just pinging passes left, right and centre. I like to attack wings, forward, straight through the middle. I'm more based around that. And maybe passing aspect could work for that. But personally, I'm not as a kind of build-up sort of player. I'm absolute direct, and that's about it. So Xavi really doesn't get into that sort of rhythm. With Rooney, again, standard A+ in my opinion. Good striker, but I don't feel like he's reached his potential. Footies could be another great shout if they did get icons to really upgrade that card to a level that we remember Rooney at. Then the final two, we have Fernando Torres, still absolutely love him as a striker, and to be honest, even Rivaldo, very, very good left wing. And that is going to be my list of all of the icons that are definitely worth having a look at over the course of the next kind of couple of weeks, and hopefully we do see more icons added to the game before it's ended. Let me know down below if you agree. Is your S+ different to mine? Make sure you comment down below and like the video, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.